Hi, I'm Jamie Socamel. It's that time of year again where we're either really excited about Christmas or we're absolutely dreading this holiday season. Some people plan all year long. They can't wait for Black Friday to come so they can go out and get the best deals possible. Others ease into Christmas. They take the whole month of December to plan their holiday shopping, to put up their Christmas decorations. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what my family's traditions are. Our Christmas season in my family consists of baking cookies, putting up Christmas decorations, gift giving, and high standards that I have to live up to with a little bit of drama. We're going to discuss the rituals of my family, as well as the relationships that I have with my mother, especially. How that benefits me, how it benefits her, the challenges that we face. Then I'm going to bring it all together. We're going to discuss what the rituals that we have currently, what maybe new ones we can create, and also why it's so important. So, when we talk about the rituals that we have, and we talk about baking cookies, my mom does that every single year. They do a cookie exchange. The women bake all the cookies. The men go out and deer hunt. And they start that right after Thanksgiving. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom used to always put the cookies in ice cream buckets. She used to put them in the garage because they'd stay frozen long enough to last to the Christmas season. Little did she realize that we always had to wait for the bus outside the house, so it was easy to snag a cookie on your way out the door. Then we'll talk a little bit about gift giving. It's extremely important for my mom to give gifts. I also enjoy giving gifts. However, sometimes it's not necessarily what Christmas is all about. So we have to take a step back and look at all of that. Then my mom is really, really serious about having a nice meal for Christmas. As our family grows and expands, it's harder to fit all at the same table, but she's determined to get her fine china out every single year, even for the little kids. When we talk about the Christmas decorations, we talk about multiple trees, we talk about 5-foot wreaths that are inside the house. It's absolutely crazy. However, it's pretty beautiful at the same time. We'll talk about the importance of creating rituals. Gordon Simmons writes in Dad's newsletter for Father Times, which is a Scientific American magazine, what the importance is. We'll talk a little bit about that. Then, when we get into the relationships piece of it, we'll talk a little bit about how my relationship with my mom gets strained around the holidays, the difficulty of what we have to endure. We'll talk a little bit about the four-part conflict by Satir in the people making science behavior books. Why the four-part conflict is really important. Then we'll also talk a little bit about the explanatory process by Kupak and Canary in the Competence and Interpersonal Conflict from the Waveland Press. And expectations, how the expectations can be so one-sided. As our parents and grandparents, have had these traditions in the past, they expect all of their kids and grandkids to just follow along in those same traditions. So we'll talk a little bit about the one-sided expectations, as well as the differences, and how difficult it is to discuss what the differences with my mom is. She gets offended very easily, and she thinks that it needs to be her way. Also, we'll talk a little bit about creating your own traditions. At what point as a child, when you grow up and you start having your own family, can you start creating your own rituals and traditions? And how do we accept that and move past some of the challenges that we face that we want it to just be our own tradition? And then we'll bring it all together. So, making the most of the holiday season. A great article through the American Psychology Association. We'll talk about how we bring it together and how we make the most of what we have. How we put together the old and new traditions. And then how we can create our own set of expectations and stress-free standards. If you're anything like me, I really don't thrive on stress. I can work through it, but I would prefer to have the holiday season enjoying my family, playing some games, and not really being stressed out, not wanting to go. And when I think about that, I think about how do we define family? Is family just blood? And we'll talk about it through an article on What Defines Family by Floyd Mickelson and Judd, Defining Family Through Relationships, in the Turner and West, the Family Communication Source Book. And that's going to be really important. They're advocates, the definition of family as a socially different than just a blood relative. I know for myself, I have a lot of family who are not blood relatives or, family by marriage. And it's an extremely well balanced family that I really look forward to spending time with. This particular holiday season, I don't get to see as many of those family members. So we'll talk a little bit about the differences with that. And then we'll talk a little bit about the emotional well-being and why the stress level is so high at some points and how we can avoid that from happening. So when we talk about Christmas season, again, consisting of baking cookies, gift giving, decorating, and the high standards that we have to live up to with a little bit of drama, I'm definitely confident this season is going to be a season to remember.